Okay, today I'm going to listen to a piece by Górecki. Let me pull up the score here. It's called Beatus Vir. It's based on Psalm 152. It's for choir and orchestra, as far as I can tell. And it was written in 1979. Right now, day of recording, it's Sunday. And, it's my day where I don't go to the gym. So I'm kind of into some sacred listening, maybe something that's a little bit more relaxed than some of the modernist scores we've been looking at. I know very little about this piece. I don't even know that much about Górecki, so why don't we pull up some Wikipedia pages and learn together? And then after I listen to this, I'll give some of my thoughts. Now, Górecki is a Polish composer. He died in 2010. Born in 1933. He's a classical music composer, and as far as contemporary composers go, he's had a lot of commercial success, particularly with his Symphony No. 2 and Symphony No. 3, which were, he transitioned out of modernist music into, sacred minimalism. He's probably one of the more famous examples of this transition. Arvo Pärt, maybe it would be a close second. In terms of famous sacred minimalists in Europe. So he founded the New Polish School, which includes Lutoslawski, Penderecki, and others. So he has a geometric period, and then this is after where he gets more into out of the radical modernist phase and more into just traditional romantic modes of expression. And yeah, that's probably all you need to know, really. It's for baritone, mixed chorus, and orchestra. The text is actually drawn from multiple different psalms. So I'm not sure if I have the entire score here. I might just have a part of it. The instrumentation is 4-4-4-4, 4-4-4-4, 2 percussionists, 2 harps, 1 piano, 4 hands, so we'll just say 2 pianos, and strings. An alternate layout for the brass is 4-4-6-2. I guess the 2 of the tuba parts are probably used very sparingly and can be done by trombonists. Yeah, some other strange things about it. The bassoons 3 and 4 have to double on contra. That's a little bit weird, having 2 contras. 4 trumpets are in B flat instead of C, which is kind of strange. Can give a more mellow sound, I guess, and you can get that low F sharp. So an important thing to think about historically with sacred minimalism is it crops up in a lot of countries that are post-communist or post-Soviet countries. Poland, in this case, left communism, I believe, in the 1950s. So when Górecki was a young man, and then this piece was written 20 years later. This context on Wikipedia here seems to suggest that there were still tensions between communist leaders in Poland's government and the church, the Christian Church of Poland, kind of. This piece was written quite hastily to be performed for Pope John Paul II when he made his pilgrimage to Poland in 1979. And that's sort of an interesting political context for this. So Górecki is very established as a composer at this point and entrusted with lots of government funding, it seems like. And but you can see that him accepting these types of commissions caused him to be sort of ostracized by some of his peers, and he didn't seem to really get along with a lot of the avant-garde in his field. and I guess you could say that people were starting to think of him as a bit of a sellout when he wrote this piece. Yeah, the recording I'm listening to is a score video on YouTube, so you can follow along a little bit. Obviously, having the PDF is a much better exercise to be page turning for yourself, but so I would recommend you get your hands on the score if you can. And yeah, let's get into it. It's about half an hour, and considering that this is a 66-page score, I think I have most of the piece, if not all of it. And yeah, I'll see you in 30 minutes here. Okay, yeah, so time for a bit of a composer's perspective on this piece. I think it was very well proportioned for what it was, and there were certain moments where I was very pleased that something new was added. For example, in the introduction with the full chorus, there's only like 3 or 4 chords used through the whole first 3 minutes, and then the section ends with the introduction of a new chord. A 5th chord is added like very shortly before the end of that. That's a tried and true way of keeping the listener's attention when you're setting up a work. The use of grand pauses, I think, was really tasteful and adds a lot to the piece. It gives the listener time to like reset, and I think they were positioned in such a way to like break up the text in a certain way. We don't get any divisi strings until the very end, and we don't even get any notes that are not like we don't even really get eighth notes until the very last like figure with the harp, piano, bells, and flute here. And just hearing a note on an offbeat and seeing it in the score was very satisfying, because it is at the very end of the piece. And I appreciate how sort of obnoxious the piece is. Like, you can imagine if you were like in the modernist mindset where every second is precious and every note has to mean something, this would be incredibly obnoxious. And I think it still kind of is, even for people who are used to listening to tonal music. It's like so dead simple. There's almost no like leaps in any of the lines. It's all stepwise motion. You're in C minor or E flat the whole time. And no one gets anything fancy to play. And the ensemble is way bigger than it needs to be to communicate the music. There is a really big write-up here in the video description, like to the video I'm sharing. So you can look at this guy's little analysis here. I don't know if you really need this to follow along. I think it's pretty straightforward, but maybe some people need this. This might help you like understand where different psalms come into play and how the text is organized. It is a minimalist piece. It's definitely going to stand out in this entire orchestra series. I would go see it live just because of the sheer like size of it. And I think there are a few things that can be learned from looking at the score. And I think that's it for that one. I should pull up the spreadsheet to announce what's next. Okay, so I have a score to Modulations by Henryk Górecki, and we're going to look at that in our next session. To put it in context, it was written in France just a year before Górecki was doing this stuff. So you have to think when this minimalist stuff is starting to take off, like post-serial but still modernist things like spectralism are like going on. Like that's what's happening. So yeah, Europe has a lot going on in the 70s, I think.